if you're talking world's most wanted right at the moment, then one Julian Paul Assange from Townsville, Australia, is going to be pretty high on that list. Worldwide reaction to his latest leak of classified US documents has been anything from wanting to arrest him to designating his WikiLeaks website a terrorist entity.
How much damage has been done here? What's the real story here that you're focused on?
I think the man is a high-tech terrorist. He's done enormous,
Assange.
Yes, he's done enormous damage to our country, and I think he needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and if that becomes a problem, we need to change the law.
Well, I think Assange should be assassinated, actually. I think Obama should put out a contract and maybe use a drone or something. You know, there's no good coming of this. I agree some of the stuff is quite titillating to read. I was particularly struck by the revelations.
Tom, that's pretty harsh stuff. Just for the record, that's pretty harsh stuff.
Well, I'm feeling very manly today.
That's what I'd like to see, a little drone hit Assange, right?
Oh, you want to get?
No, now they're going to get me on Media Matters again.
In other words, you want to get the guy who dissimulates the information because you don't want information.
I think he's a bad guy, Colin.
Whether or not he's a bad guy, he did not break the law.
If we lived in Great Britain, 007 would be getting him.
I thought you guys wanted transparency and information about where our taxpayer dollars.
All I want is a nice supper, Combs.
Information warfare is warfare, and Julian Assange is engaged in warfare. Information terrorism, which leads to people getting killed, is terrorism, and Julian Assange is engaged in terrorism. He should be treated as an enemy combatant. WikiLeaks should be closed down permanently and decisively. But even more, how could we have gone through the last year and not figured out how did all these documents get released?
The way to deal with this is pretty simple. We got special ops forces. I mean, a dead man can't leak stuff. This guy's a traitor, a treasonous, and he has broken every law of the United States. The guy ought to be, and I'm not for the death penalty, so if I'm not for the death penalty, I only want to do it, illegally shoot the son of a...
Charging Assange with espionage would require evidence he was not only in contact with representatives of a foreign power, but also that they intended to provide him with secrets. No such evidence has surfaced. U.S. law makes it easier to prosecute people for unauthorized disclosure of intelligence officers' identities and classified information relating to nuclear weapons. Julian Assange, it seems, isn't guilty of either.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Then there's the First Amendment in the U.S. Constitution, which guarantees freedom of expression, a right President Obama is obliged to uphold and protect. If the U.S. goes after Julian Assange, it would be hard to argue why it then shouldn't also go after every other media outlet.
Well, I think we have to be very clear that Interpol has no interest in what was allegedly going on in Sweden, nor does the U.S. This is all about the question of the WikiLeaks documents that have so embarrassed U.S. diplomats. And I think that what we're seeing here is, again, an effort to divert attention from the message, from what we can learn from these documents, to put the focus back on the messenger, put the focus back on WikiLeaks, its founder, what is Julian Assange doing, where is he, can we arrest him, and keep the focus there rather than on what we have learned from what these documents actually say, which is far more important.